in a new garden bed. I got, I think these are spaghetti squash and watermelon, which looks like it's going to survive. It didn't like being transplanted, but this part's still green. These are dead. This is a surprise one. I don't actually know what it is. Probably zucchini or something. And these are pumpkin. And the garden bed is really pretty. It's 8 by 4. And then we'll put one more over there. This turned out pretty well. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
These are roses. They're getting bigger. They turned out really nice this year. Getting bigger and bigger. Smell good. And got all different colors. Red, pink. Although I really need to prune them like Grandpa Chuck said, which is right by the 5th leaf here. So I'll probably have to come back with some pruning shears. And then we have some yellow ones over here that are really pretty and pink ones. The ones in the backyard smell really good. But these are pretty for flower arrangements, and we want to put some in the house. These ones are pretty, they're almost purple. And then you have flower petals. Or for chicken. These are hollyhock. This is my hollyhock pathway. When you walk down here, you see all the hollyhocks blooming. I started this from one plant, and now we have all of these growing here. Need some maintenance. These are my temporary garden boxes, which are going to need to be replaced pretty quickly with like the nice one out front. But they're too full right now to move. So we got a bunch of tomatoes here, kale, over here, tomatoes, zucchini. This area's all my radishes. I picked these yesterday. These are radishes. Turned out pretty well, but these are quick to, these grow quickly, which is nice. More tomatoes. I have all my snapdragons turned out really pretty. These are gorgeous. I love them. Attract the bees. Tomatoes are getting flowers, so we're gonna get tomatoes here soon. More tomatoes. This is a nightshade plant that I was worried about, but it turned out it's a black nightshade and not an actual nightshade plant, so the berries are edible, luckily, because we were eating them last year. But these are weeds, so these pop up everywhere once they start growing. This is broccoli here, tomatoes, and this actually has some tomatoes on it. You can see them. These are probably the, they're called galaxy tomatoes, I think. And then this is red leaf lettuce, actually seeded, so I'm going to get the seeds off of that, and I can use it next year. These are my peas, which look like they may be at the end of their life, but I've gotten a really good harvest out of these. Tons of peas, hundreds of peas. And then I have my bean plants growing right here. I think they'll be fine here. I just did 2, so they can grow up. I'm gonna stake these up. These have had this is one of the remnants of the original palm leaves I had, but there weren't very many that survived. I got one sunflower here. But then I got a bunch of sunflowers growing in the back. Are you still taking the video? Strawberries down here. More tomatoes here. I don't actually know what kind of tomatoes these are, which is kind of fun. Find out. My poppies grew really nicely this year. I've been hoping they would start. I think I planted a few poppies, but these are just wild poppies. And then over there I have my new pyramid garden that my friend Yishin gave me. And then I planted these flowers over here this year too, which some of them are surviving pretty well. I think they'll be okay. They'll get through it. That one got some fungal disease from all the water, but I sprayed it, so it's doing better. New chickens, old chickens, bunnies. Hi, bunnies. And then we got the corn They're waiting for food, so I'm gonna throw them some leaves and stuff. They love to get fed from the garden. And then this is the corn that's growing that I planted with Sandra from seed about 3 months ago. It's almost ready to start growing some actual corn, but it has to get a little bit taller. These are all tomato plants that just sprouted there naturally. I didn't actually plant any of these. And then over here I have our grapes, which are doing pretty well. And I planted along the vines, along the fence, these beans. They're called red scarlet runners, and they grow up, and they actually make beans that you can eat, and they also attract hummingbirds. So here's the grapes. You can see more poppies actually. You can see. Here's an example of a grape cluster. See this? It's gonna be really nice. These are table grapes. These would be nice table grapes right here. Really pretty. And then this is a pomegranate. I think this is a pear, but it flowered, but it hasn't actually made any fruit yet. So I'm kind of curious to see what it ends up making. And then I started my compost pile back there. And then I have a peach and a goji berry. Over here we got some celery that I planted last year actually, but I think it's past its it still smells like celery, but I think it's bitter. So I have to cut it down and let it regrow. The bunnies like it though. And then I got some herbs, onions, which are going to seed, rosemary, oregano, and then more broccoli, lettuce, chard, mint, lots of mint. Mint's a weed. This is a plum. I got a few plums this year. I got a lot more last year, but I think next year I'll get a lot. And then I got lots of blackberries this year, which are really fun. These are really yummy to eat. And some raspberries. And then just sunflowers over there and roses.